Hi everyone. I know it's been a while since I talked to all of you. I hope everybody's doing well with their treatments and not suffering too much. This is my latest update. I think the last time I was on here talking to you guys was around the time that I was pretty much having an emotional breakdown because of trying to decide whether or not to move forward with the baby stuff and, go through with the hormone injections and all that kind of stuff. So, that was, I think, last March that I was on here. And, well, we did go forward with them. I did do the hormone injections. And they weren't as tough as I thought they were going to be. I had the typical side effects I think that anybody would. I didn't find my Lyme symptoms exasperated as much as I thought they were going to be. I definitely had more hot flashes and like some more headaches around that time. And just felt kind of a little dizzy at times, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and it was definitely worth it. We did our first transfer I believe it was, I think it might have been April. It was sometime in April. I think it was like end of April we did the first transfer. My aunt did really well. It was 2 weeks till we had to find out we were pregnant, so I have some really amazing news, but we are pregnant. We are 17 weeks along already, which is crazy. We found out on May 26th. I couldn't have been happier. It was the best feeling in the world. The nurse had told us, they were going to give us a call, and I knew it was coming any day, before the 26th, and I wasn't sure, when they were going to call us, if it was going to be the Wednesday before we found out or when. And my husband and I got a phone call. We were still in bed, and he works late at night, so he usually sleeps in, and of course with me being sick, I'm usually sleeping in, so we got a call at like 9:30 in the morning, and it was the nurse, and her name's Shannon, and she, I have to say, I love this office. They are so funny and just great people, and I loved my doctor, and Shannon was awesome. Her and Colleen, the other nurse, got on the phone, and they were like, "Oh, are you ready to hear the results?" And we were like, "Yeah, we're ready." And she's like, "Are you sure you're ready?" And we're like, "Just spit it out." And she's just like, "You're pregnant," and it was just this amazing feeling for my husband and I. I think we were just kind of truly shocked. I mean, I think both of us were kind of expecting it not to work, only because, we've been through a lot, and it seems like every time we get ourselves excited about something, it just, kind of blows up in our face, and, it's not that we were trying to think negative, but we know how many other couples that we had seen coming in and out of that office struggle to get pregnant, and maybe or not didn't get pregnant on the first transfer. So, I think in some ways we were trying to prepare ourselves emotionally for the fact that it might not work the first time. We might have to do it a second time. So we were truly, truly surprised when, she said, "Oh, you're pregnant," So anyways, it was the best feeling in the world, and, we called our parents right away, and my parents live right next door along with my sister, so they like rushed over, and, everybody was just so elated, and I don't think it didn't really hit me. I think for several weeks I didn't really feel like it was happening, and I guess because I am the one not carrying the baby, I guess it is like a little harder for it to feel real to me, but everything was amazing. And then I think it was like a week later, then I went to our doctor's appointment and met my aunt there and got to see the baby for the first time, and it looked like the little size of a pea. It was really, really hard to see, but it was just amazing to see that, and we then heard the heartbeat. I believe it was at 5 or 6 weeks we heard the heartbeat. No, 4 weeks. And I just got to say, it was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. I was just in shock, and it was really, really nice because my aunt was there, and she had her two kids there, which I really wanted them there just because I want them to kind of understand, what's going on and what their mom is doing for us. And I'm really, really close with my aunt's kids. Off and on during the time that I was sick years ago, when, I kind of was like dealing with the Lyme and getting through it. I had babysat her daughter for about a year before I decided I felt well enough to go to school, which in the end didn't pan out anyways, but to get to the point, I basically have had like a really close relationship with her kids. I've always watched them, and I've had a close relationship with my uncle and her. Her and I are actually only 7 years apart, so that's kind of cool because I've, always been close with her. So we decided to have the kids there to hear the heartbeat, and it was just amazing as soon as we heard it. I don't know if the kids quite understood it. I know the 11-year-old, she definitely understood it a lot more than the 8-year-old, and because it's an 8-year-old boy, he kind of was like, he didn't think it was that big of a deal, and I don't think he quite understood at that point what was going on, but the 11-year-old, she understood, and she was excited, and it was just in that moment, I just grabbed my husband's hand, and I just, like, looked at him, and I'm like, wow, like, this is happiness, and this is what all this pain, that we had been through over the last couple years of our marriage and the struggles that we've been through with my health and, we lost a lot of people in our family too over the past couple years. My grandparents, cancer, Alzheimer's, his mom has had like probably about 4 surgeries I think by now, and we almost lost her, and then his dad had some issues. We've just been through a lot in the last 5 years, and, this family had really, really needed some kind of happiness right now, and, when you're sick with something like this, my whole family goes through it. I mean, my husband lives with me, so he sees it on a daily basis. He has to help me on days that I don't feel well, and my parents sometimes have to run over and take care of me when he can't, and, it's just like so surreal to hear that baby's heartbeat. It was just an amazing feeling, and, not a lot of people realize, but my husband financially, him and I couldn't have done this without my parents. They're financially basically backing us up now to be able to have this child. So we owe so much to them. So, it's just amazing to have them involved, and, and they're so excited to be grandparents. I've never seen my parents more happy. I mean, my dad's just, elated and telling everybody, and my mom's ready. She's getting my old bedroom in her house all ready for the baby so that on days I don't feel good, my husband can bring the baby over, when he has to work, and if there's days that I can't do it, she's there, and I know that. And, I am truly blessed. I realize that more than anything now, and I mean, I always knew it, but I think the baby's kind of opened my eyes to why I have to keep going and get better, and on the days that I just feel like giving up, I know I have to be well now for that baby. So it's kind of surreal to know that, I'm going to be responsible for another human being, and so is my husband, and, but anyway, it's just, it's scary at the same time. Since March, I was kind of slowly going downhill, which was another reason why, we were trying to decide with the hormone injections if it was something I wanted to do or not, if it was going to make me worse. I don't feel like it made me worse. I don't think it helped. I definitely have had, I wouldn't say a relapse, but I've definitely not been well over the last couple months. I definitely, neurologically, there's been a lot of symptoms, more or less just numbing and tingling, things like that. I definitely, count my blessings because I'm not anywhere where I was before I did IV. I mean, IV, as far as I'm concerned, was a blessing in my eyes. It took care of so many things with my body that I didn't realize until now, and looking back, I think about how sick I was, and, but yeah, I've definitely had a rough couple months, I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely been truly scared with this baby coming because I know I need to get myself well. I was just talking to my husband today that I think I'm gonna enroll myself in like a gentle stretching yoga type of class. I tried physical therapy and I was doing it for about 2 months, but then over the course of like June, July, July was like, I think the last time. I think I did like a couple weeks in July, and that was it. And I finally had to tell my physical therapist that I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it to my appointments. I have to call and cancel, and I knew things were getting bad because my parents were driving me everywhere around again. When my husband's working and they're taking me, places just simply to any appointments. So it's kind of how I know that I haven't been doing too great. So, I don't know. My doctor has... she's been doing the KPU treatment, which right now I've taken a break. Unfortunately, I did something stupid and I fell outside on my parents' brick patio about a week ago. It was a pretty bad fall. My arm got huge, swollen, black and blue. My back was definitely affected. My doctors have been kind of like working with that, with doing the osteopathic type of medicine. I've just been sticking with massages. I did start sauna 2 weeks ago. I had my second treatment this past Wednesday, and I've been herxing ever since. Today's the first day that I feel like I've had like a slight break, but the last 2 days were just like awful. Right now, because of the fall, my doctor had decided to take a break from my meds right now. So she's not hitting me with the antimicrobials right now, so I'm taking a break, and I'm doing my second KPU test just to see how my last KPU treatment did, and then, I'll find out later what she wants to do. Anyway, sorry, my computer just went blank with the big screen, but anyways, I am going to start the antimicrobials again by next week. So, we'll see how I do. The only frustrations and complaints I have right now, I've been a little frustrated, which I don't know if any of you Limeys have gone through this, but my doctor, because she's naturopathic, she's really against prescription medications and pain medicines, which I understand to a degree because it is about, detoxing your body with Lyme and things like that, and she, feels the prescription medications do that. But, I've had several days over the last couple months, actually I should say more than several, probably about 4 or 5 times, I begged my husband to take me to the hospital because my pain was that severe. I just cried my eyes out and screamed, and he knows if I'm crying like that and I am just, on edge, he knows the pain's bad because I don't usually complain with my pain. So that was a little frustrating because, when I call her office, I feel like a druggie, even though the only pain meds she's really given me is Percodan, and that's it. And I was taking them practically on a daily basis when I was so sick, but only maybe like once a day. I'm not on any heavy-duty drugs other than that. And honestly, if I could be on arthritis medicine rather than that drugs, I would like to be on that. But she's even refused with those type of medications, which I really don't understand. So I've been definitely stressed out and frustrated with that. I had to beg her for months and months and months to put me on the Neurontin. I told her how bad of nerve pain I was having, and I felt like she really wasn't listening. So she finally gave in last month when I called her office like 3 times in between appointments telling them how bad my pain was. She finally put me on that. So I've been on that now. I definitely think it's helped. It's taken the edge off. Of course, there's days it doesn't work. I just think that's the way it is. I was off my Lyrica and my antidepressant, the Lexapro, for a while, and I definitely feel I got worse over the last month because of that. Sensitivity to touch, that horrible achy flu feeling was coming back. So I do think that was helping with the Neurontin. So I had called Dr. Bransfield, the Lyme psychologist in our area, and I talked to him. He's located in New Jersey. And I talked to him usually by phone, and I told him my situation, and, he agreed to. There's just some Lymies he feels that need maybe both, the naturopathic and the prescription, and there's some, everybody has a different approach to their treatments, and everybody's body responds differently. And I told him, like, my biggest fear, and that's what I'm going through right now, I've been having such anxiety, this baby's going to be here in 6 months, and my biggest fear is how am I going to take care of that baby on the days I'm that bad. I've kind of learned to accept the fact that I'm going to have pain. I'm going to have my days where every now and then I'm just going to have, like, the day where I just say I can't do this and my mom's going to take over, or my husband, whichever. I know I'm going to have to rely on people, which is something I think I'm going to have a hard time doing when I'm a mom, but I'm trying to prepare myself for the fact that that's what I'm going to have to do, that I can't be the super mom, and, there's plenty of moms out there with Lyme who do it. So, basically, I think my biggest fear is that I'm not going to be on some kind of pain medicine, whether it be Neurontin or Lyrica. And honestly, I'd rather stay on that stuff than be taking narcotics, because I really don't want to be taking that way, taking care of a child. Do I respond the typical way that most people do with narcotics? No. I don't get loopy. I can have a fluent conversation with you like this, and, like, I'm fine. I just don't respond that way. But would I prefer to be off of it? Yes, because of driving and everything like that. So I don't know. I'm worried, and I kept contemplating over the last couple of weeks changing doctors. But I know in reality she's the best of the best. She's gotten me where I, needed to be. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be out of a wheelchair. I wouldn't be, having somewhat of a life now and a social life. I know I wouldn't be at that point. So I am grateful to her, but I am really frustrated because I've really backtracked since March, and I need to get better. Like, I have 6 months, and I know it's not going to be like a cure, but I need to get where I need to be. So, to every extent, that's what's been new. There hasn't been a whole lot new. I've definitely had more colds lately. That's been kind of annoying. I definitely think my immune system is just really struggling right now. But, other than that, that's about it. Oh, and I did want to show you guys, this is the blanket we got. I don't know if you can see it. It says, "Congratulations" from Dr. Lee. that was the blanket we got when we left our fertility doctor and, quote, graduated to go on to my aunt's OBGYN. So that was it. And this was, I don't know if you can see this. This is right here. That is the baby.